Hey there. So I am reviewing a client lab today and I want to share that with you. And the reason that I'm sharing that with you is because when I'm on here a lot, I talk about some of the hidden causes to why women struggle to lose weight. Most often, as women, we've been trained to focus on our calories and on our exercise. And those are important, but if moving those things and changing those things isn't really affecting the scale for you, there's most likely something else going on that just hasn't been uncovered for you yet. And so that's actually what I do when I work with my clients is I dig deep and I look for the hidden causes. Those causes typically come in one or more of three different categories. There's mineral or nutrient deficiencies. There are heavy toxin loads, like a toxin burden that your body just can't detox and eliminate, and pathogen burden. So I'm going to show you the situation for this particular client and let you see how well she's doing. So the lab that we're going to be looking at today is the GI map. This is a stool test that we run to assess gut health, and we look at your microbiome, we look at your pathogen load, and we also look at how your immune system is functioning, and it gives us some information about toxins as well. So this is her original one, and this is the first page with findings, and you can see that this is a very common bacterial pathogen that creates a lot of digestive symptoms, and when it's present, it indicates that you have some digestive dysfunction. When it's elevated, you can have things like heartburn, nausea, and lots of other uncomfortable symptoms, but these guys take up residence in your stomach and they kind of wreak havoc there. So this is from 6 months ago, and this is from now. Less than detectable limits. So we removed that pathogen completely. So looking at her good bacteria, we have some individual species here as well as some bigger categories, some phyla. And we can see here that she is elevated in a few here and is making less than detectable limits of this one in particular. And these indicate that not only does she have digestive dysfunction, but she's got some significant inflammation. So here's the retest from just a few weeks ago. She's improved the ones that she was extremely low in, and she's only elevated in one of the ones that were elevated previously. Now, because of the probiotic blend she's on, she's now elevated in these, but the ratio between them is still pretty decent. And so I'd rather see this high than low, but we are going to work to bring that in a normal range by changing up her probiotic. And this is exactly why I don't like it when people just take random probiotics for no reason, because having too much of a good thing is not always a good thing. Okay, so this page is talking about the bad bacteria in the gut. These are the overgrowth microbes. Sometimes they can be commensal, meaning they can always be present, but we don't necessarily want them to be elevated. So in some cases, you don't want them present at all. As you can see, she has some that are elevated, some that are just present, and some others that were contributing to symptoms she was having. But overall, what these indicate is some pretty severe inflammation in her gut. Now, the retest came back much better. Some of those numbers went down, and even though these show as elevated, they are much, much lower than they were when we started, which is very good. And we see some other markers that have kind of switched up and shown up a presence here. So that she does still have a little bit of inflammation present, but predominantly what we're seeing here is still just some digestive dysfunction support, meaning she's not digesting well, and that's how these bacteria are able to grow and thrive, because they're eating the food that you're not absorbing. Okay, so a few months ago when we ran this test, she came back with a parasite, but now if you look at it, parasite's gone, less than detectable limits. That's exactly what we wanted. These parasites can often serve a purpose in your gut by eating toxins for you. And heavy metals, and your body will want to keep them there because that serves a purpose. But when they get, to be too proliferous, your body has a problem and starts reacting to that. So this means that her body is able to fight them now on her own, and this also indicates that her toxin load is coming down. So this last section talks about intestinal health. And 6 months ago, we expected this to be low because we knew that she wasn't digesting her food well. This means that she wasn't producing enough pancreatic enzymes to help digest her food. We also knew that because she was having hot flashes and she was starting to go through menopause, that we expected this one to be elevated. This is the enzyme that reabsorbs estrogen metabolites. So when it's elevated like this, you can kind of anticipate super high estrogen burden. This we felt like was more of a contamination issue because of her cycle recently. Her immune system looked pretty decent. She did have some antibodies against gluten, but it was her inflammation that we were the most worried about because it was, as you can see, approaching lab high. And we really like to see this number less than 10. So we knew that we needed to address inflammation. So fast forward to this month, her enzymes have improved. I would like to see them a little bit higher. I'd like to see them over 500. So we're going to continue to support her digestion. While this is still elevated, it's much, much lower than it was before. And she's still going through some menopause stuff with hot flashes and things. So we are going to bring in some extra support here to help bring this number down and reduce this toxin burden for her body. And then if you come down here, you'll see now she's reacting pretty severely to the gliadin and gluten. And before, everything was just kind of tanked and it didn't have the resources to respond to it, but she's healed enough now that her body's got an accurate response to it. And that's evidenced here by this number. So she still has some inflammation, but it has improved so much. And so overall, what we see with this client is that she's really brought down inflammation significantly and she has improved her digestion, but there's still a little bit more work to be done there. So when this client came to me, she was struggling with several things. She had significant just like stomach discomfort. So she had pain. She was constantly looking for a bathroom when she went places. She was just uncomfortable, and pretty much anything she ate, she didn't feel good. She was also having multiple hot flashes throughout the day, and that's no fun. But she had gained some weight, and she was feeling pretty achy in her joints, and like she didn't feel like she could move the way she used to move. And so when we uncovered these hidden causes and we worked to restore things like bringing up the nutrients that she needed, removing the things that were causing inflammation in her body, helping her body handle and process the things like the pathogens and the toxins that had built up in her body was able to relax and to finally let go, and she has lost weight. And while that might not have been the first and most important goal that she had, it was important, and now everything is working as it should.